What's going on, guys? So there's a few of you who've been having some questions in the Ronin group just about shoulder pain. So I know kind of had this one before. I'm just going to try and go over something now that's going to help with that. So if you know anything about AC joint pain, so when you get joint inflammation, so if you don't know where your AC joint is or you don't know what that's referring to, this little part right on top of your shoulder, so that little knobbly part, that's your AC. And basically what will tend to happen is, because as weightlifters, like anyone, we're going to have left to right imbalances and muscular imbalances. That's usually the part from like crashing of the bar, all the different stuff we have to do where we're going overhead a lot. You're going to get some AC joint inflammation. Like the actual condition is actually called weightlifter's shoulder when you get a little bit of inflammation or like kind of like tissue inflammation in that area. So what you can do to try and release it is to look at what's happening. So basically what will usually be happening to cause the inflammation is the shoulder will sit forward and it'll sit slightly up, which is usually going to be a result of a bunch of things. It could be that it's just you caught a snatch or a clean and jerk wrong and it's just a little bit inflamed because the amount of reps you have to do overhead. But the result of it, whether it's happened because the front of the shoulder, the top of the shoulder's tightened up, or whether it's gotten inflamed and then your shoulder's tightened up to protect it, you need to fix that. So the few things we need to do is activate the upper and mid back so that we can actually sit into a better position to support weight overhead in a position that's going to be better for our shoulder. So instead of supporting the bar like this, say, which is what will usually happen, we support it here. So that's the first thing we need to do. And then we also need to make sure that we're stretching out the front of the shoulder and the top of the trap to stop it internally rotating and jamming up into that AC joint. So one of the first things I would do is just this little shoulder routine. So get some blood through the shoulder. I do my stuff sitting because otherwise I arch my lower back. So you don't have to do it here. You can do these exercises standing. But first thing I'll do is I'll go through pull-aparts on this. So like 15 to 20 or up to 100, making sure again the eye of your elbow faces upwards and you use an underhand grip. Otherwise you get tempted to do this and just pull across as far as you can. So again, if you look here, I'm trying really, really hard to keep my neck long and make sure my shoulders don't float up as I'm pulling. I'm trying to make sure I'm pulling my shoulder blades back into the joint. After this here, then go to an overhand grip, go behind the ears, and then you're just going to pull down and across. And when you come up, imagine pulling the upper portion of your shoulder blades together. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'm pulling the upper portion of my shoulder blade together. And even though I'm not going to snatch or clean and jerk like this, I'm trying to deliberately push the pits of my elbows upwards. Again, to exaggerate that externally rotated position and make sure that my shoulders are staying in a good place there, like this, okay? So then, from here, you do like, again, you can do as little as 10, you can do up to 100 of these. You're then going to go behind the shoulder. You're going to really try and externally rotate, and then you're going to pull the band across your shoulder, and you're actually going to try and internally rotate here. And you're going to try and pull down and in. And what I want you to try and do here is actually squeeze your pecs together as if you're trying to crush your hands together. And then release, turn the elbows back upwards and come again. The reason we're going here and squeezing everything together is we're trying to map out the connection you have for the front delt. Because a lot of the time if a muscle's super tight and it won't release, it's because it's not contracting and relaxing properly. So if you do this, you squeeze as hard as you can, like this, so you depress and protract the shoulder blades and then come back, and then extend. You'll find that you'll start to open up the front of that shoulder a little bit more. That one you won't want to do as many reps, you want to do like 10 to 15. You can do more if you want, but you don't have to. Then from there, to try and free up the shoulder joint a bit more, we're going to go through a pass over a dislocate. So again, with the same band or with a stick, keep a full grip. So don't let your hand do this and let the fingers fly off, especially if you're using a broomstick. So again, squeezing the elbows, making sure the triceps are locked. I want you to try and keep the elbows just relatively pointed upwards, don't let them turn in too much. And the first thing I want you to do is push the shoulder blades forwards. Now as you come up, shrug. And as you come back, I want you to pull the shoulder blades back and down and come down to here. And again, when you're going through this whole thing, squeeze your triceps as hard as you can. And it's important when you're here, don't pull the band this way. Try and reach backwards towards the band and come over. If that's not too bad, go in with your grip again and again. Elevate and pull down. So with this movement here, we're trying to get as much shoulder movement as we can in. So watch, shoulders forwards, shoulders come up, shoulders come back, and then down. Shoulders come back. Again, pits of elbows are facing upwards. Shoulders come up, pits of elbows are upwards and forwards. And again, this one can do as many reps as you want, just to get things moving through. Okay? So that would be my main one for trying to start to take care of the top of the shoulder. After that, the next thing you will then do is go into just some trap 3 work to try and get your mid back to work a little bit more. So the easiest way to do this is to just go into an all fours position and just start working through some trap work. So again, I want to stay braced to here, so I'm not going to let my lower back take over. I'm going to be while I'm out to the side. And what I'm going to try and do is pull my shoulder blade back and then lift and hold. And the reason I'm going out to the side first and lifting is because that way it will take my upper trap out of the movement, so then I can't shrug. And again, you can go a little bit further down and you can do different positions like this, that retract and raise. But it's very important you pull the shoulder blade in and then you raise up. And I will go with 3 positions. So here, reach back. Here, reach out. So directly to 90 degrees out to your body. Retract, reach up to 45, and then if you can, retract and reach as high as you can. This one, if your shoulder's very tight, you're not going to get all the way behind your ears while having your shoulder blade completely retracted, which is fine. What I'm looking for you to have is around the lat area and around the inside of your shoulder blade on the lower side. So if you look at my shoulder blade, kind of if you look at my shoulder blade moving back and forth, the bottom portion of it towards the inside, the whole of that wants to light up. And what you should find from that, like even now, like I get some pain in this in my left shoulder. Now look, I can move a lot freer through these movements and both of my shoulders look a lot more even for it. So with that one, go through the whole routine. You can go through it more than once, or you can just do loads of reps and stuff you feel is helpful. With that little trap raise, again, I'll go through it one more time. I would deliberately go back, hold, side, hold, 45, like basically snatch grip position, hold, and then obviously retract, raise as high as you can in front and hold, then back down. That one you can do sets of 3, you can do sets of 5, you can do sets of 10, you can make it more dynamic. You can hold a little like plate if it's quite easy for you. If you're really struggling to get it, then you can go laying on the floor like this. And you can do the positions the same, but like this instead. Just because that will make the range of motion a bit shorter and it will stop you from swinging your arm through the range of motion as much. But yeah, so the band drills, again, we've gone through the rep schemes for those. For those trap 3, there's little trap movements there for the lower trap. Go through again 3 to 5 reps of it. Go through as many reps as you need to before you go into your snatches or clean and jerk work or overhead work, and just make sure that it's making your shoulder feel more stable. If you do it properly, it will make an immediate difference in how your shoulder feels. And the more often you do this little routine, like along with your 5-minute squat drills once a day, you'll find it makes a massive difference to how your shoulder moves.